Okay, Super Mario Retrospective, Nintendrone. This video overall, it's pretty good. I think the pacing is pretty good. I think I'm not spending like way too much time explaining how to play Mario because it's fucking Mario. Again, it's very much sort of like the Mario Kart retrospective where game's simple enough and not too much crazy mechanics to talk about. So I think overall the pacing on this video is good. And obviously, like, logically, I really don't have to explain this kind of stuff, but I like the idea of like if someone who could click on this video didn't know anything about Mario games, like they would be able to click this and like know everything. So that is kind of my goal with these retrospectives. Like, and I know like that kind of, it does kind of turn off people who are like, yeah, dude, we know what the star does. We know that Mario presses A to jump, you know, like, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I do get a bit overboard in like later retrospectives, but I do think like there is a good balance to where between like the homework sections and the like ranty hot take sections. And this bit's really funny where I'm talking about how like Super Mario Bros. 2 from Japan is just like absolutely fucked up. And then we talk about Super Mario Bros. 2 from the one we got in America.
So everyone's just fucking pissed trying to beat this shit. Cities are on fire. Shit is fucked. Nintendo's just looking at the total systematic collapse that they've created.
Yeah, man, I have never beaten the Japanese version of this game because it's like ROM hack shit. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, bro.
So in 1988, they decided to release a completely different game called Super Mario Bros. 2.
That's funny.
The game is Mario, Luigi, Princess Toadstool, and Toad, and they all have their
And again, one new thing, like I said before, in the Mario Kart retrospective, I did like the one text misspelling, and that just like threw me off of using text entirely. So now I'm just using like either the box art or like art from the game during the time, and I think aesthetically it looks so much better. And I just continue doing that moving forward.
It's a weird little game that's kind of the black sheep of the series. But did you know that Super Mario Bros. 2 was a reskin of the Japanese?
This is a funny kind of trivia thing that I do make fun of because
People seem to dismiss this game as some kind of knockoff.
yeah, because essentially like this game is still very much like a Mario game. It's not like a reskin. Like it is technically a reskin, but you know, it was made by Nintendo, and you know it's a platforming game made by Nintendo. You can't get more Mario than that, you know.
Made the music to Super Mario Bros. Whatever way you see it, this game couldn't get any more fucking Mario than it already is. It's the most Mario-ass looking game ever. Roughly around the same time, Nintendo started putting
All right, now we're kind of talking about like the random, yeah, like Super Mario Land and stuff.
I'm just throwing this in there.
I was definitely a bit hard on this game, and again, I'm sort of at the point of these retrospectives where I'm kind of like, I didn't play this shit. Who gives a fuck, you know? And you know, nowadays I probably wouldn't do that. I would spend the extra effort to kind of go back and replay it and kind of like get a more modern perspective of it instead of just like saying, oh yeah, this shit was crazy. Who the fuck played this shit back then? Whoa, you know? And also, especially after Super Mario Odyssey came out, like I should be giving Super Mario Land more credit for being weird, because when I talked about the retrospective of Super Mario, not the retrospective, fuck, when I critiqued Super Mario Odyssey, I'm like, you know what? Like this game isn't as weird as it should have been. And like Super Mario Land was definitely weird. So that is one thing I changed my mind on. Like I wouldn't mind like Mario getting more weird and out there. And one game, I didn't, because this video ends with a Super Mario 3D World. So, yeah, so this video doesn't cover Super Mario Odyssey, which is kind of weird. And then also Super Mario Wonder just came out on the Switch, like, I don't know, a couple months ago. And that game is great. And it's basically just like, I think later I talk about like the new Super Mario Bros. Games and how like they're shit. And it's like, why don't they just put in some fucking effort and make a good Super Mario game? And like Super Mario Wonder is just that, you know? And again, the reason I like really kind of analyzing these games or like kind of putting in like when new stuff was added is because like, you know, Super Mario World like added Yoshi, you know what I mean? Like, and the new Super Mario Bros. Like those new Super Mario Bros. Games just aren't nearly like on that level. And I do find it interesting how like, you know, like one game they'll add like the spin, like in this game they add the spin jump and stuff. I love seeing like the actual progression of how these games are made over time. So although like I am kind of harping on like a bunch of shit that like all the Mario fans are just like, dude, Sam, stop talking about like the jump mechanics and stuff. Just move on, you know? But I do like, I love talking about those details. Again, I'm kind of shitting on Super Mario Land 2 because it's just more just, honestly, I am shitting on it more for like a bit, you know? Again, it's like the first one, only thing that mattered was Daisy was in this one. The second one, only thing that matters is Wario's in this one. So it's kind of, I am low key kind of just kind of dunking on it for no reason. This is also a funny bit where I didn't talk about Yoshi's Island, even though it's technically Super Mario World 2. So this is an important bit because I didn't cover Yoshi's Island in this video because technically it is a Super Mario game, but nowadays, like the Yoshi games have kind of spun off into its own thing. So I didn't really want to talk about Yoshi's Island in this video. Now, one thing I probably should have talked about in this video that I didn't was the 64DS game. Because normally, if there's like a remake or something, I wouldn't really talk about it. But I feel like 64DS is like different enough to where maybe I should have talked about it. Or at least like briefly mentioned it, you know? Because, you know, I feel like if I made this video nowadays, I would have included 64DS. Because I definitely played that I played that back in the day. Because it has like Yoshi and Luigi and Wario and shit. Like it is kind of like a substantially different game than the 64 game. So yeah, I don't know. But maybe, you know, it does kind of help with the pacing that I'm kind of just brushing that off. But yeah, I don't know. I can go back and forth.
They can play other levels if they ever got stuck. They can completely ignore certain levels entirely, or they could play through an entire level in one sitting. The power-ups in this game are the
Yeah, dude, Super Mario 64 is just so good in terms of like the castle paintings and stuff and navigating the levels that way. I really wish they would go back to that because I feel like that was like peak. That was peak 3D Mario as far as like choosing which levels you want to do and stuff like that. And the way that some of the levels are even just like hidden in the castle, you know.
And the city is forcing Mario to clean up the island using a sentient water-squirting robot jetpack because the pollution drove away the main power source of the island. Shadow Mario eventually kidnaps Princess Peach as well, and Mario has to save her because it's a fucking Mario game.
This is a funny bit where like I just keep saying Bowser kidnapped Princess Peach because it's a fucking Mario game, and I just keep saying that like 5 billion times. But again, it's fucking true, bro.
The addition of Flood adds an even greater variety of moves the player can chain together.
Yeah, Sunshine is a fun game too. It has like so many like obvious problems with it, but I would love to see like a new Sunshine game or like a revisiting of at least like Flood, because that'd be a cool idea. But at the same time, like the reason I like playing these games is because they always switch it up. So maybe I don't know. I can go either way.
First signs that show that Super Mario Sunshine was rushed. Another sign of the game being rushed was the inclusion of the blue coins. Mario can turn.
But yeah, like I said before,
which isn't a big deal in itself, but there are
I didn't include Super Mario Odyssey into this video because it wasn't out when I made it. I don't think it was even announced yet. So the last game I talk about in this one is 3D World, and normally it's kind of 3D World's kind of an awkward place to end it, because one thing I try to focus on in these retrospectives nowadays is essentially like kind of having like a own little story arc throughout the retrospective. Like, for example, here, there's like this period of time where I'm talking about how great the original 2D games are, and I talk about how great the 3D games are, and I talk about how shitty New Super Mario Bros. Is. And then if Odyssey was in the video, it'd be like this great kind of final story arc where it's like, okay, now we're finally back at 3D Mario, the game we've all been waiting for. And in this video, you don't really get that, because it kind of just ends on 3D World, and it's like, we're kind of 3D, not really, And it's like, that's the end of the video. So normally nowadays, if there's like a retrospective that I'm planning on doing, I'll usually wait for like a big game release where, okay, this is like a good point in time to where I could like talk about it. Like when I made the Animal Crossing retrospective, I waited until New Horizons came out, and then recently during this period of time, like when Breath of the Wild came out for my Zelda retrospective, that's like a perfect story arc, because it starts out with like the OG Zelda, and then we progress through the 2D games, and then we finally get 3D Zelda. 3D Zelda gets kind of tiring. It's like, come on, we're doing the same shit over and over again. This shit's boring. And then boom, Breath of the Wild. We're back to Zelda 1, back to where we all started. So that retrospective, the Zelda retrospective, has like such a better like kind of story arc throughout the entire video. Whereas this one, it kind of doesn't. Like, it kind of just flaccidly ends where I stopped talking about 3D World, and it's like, when's the next Mario game? We don't have it yet. It's like, shit. Super Mario Galaxy is so good, dude. I love Super Mario Galaxy. Again, I didn't talk about Galaxy 2 because again, I didn't play it, and I was just like, And it is kind of a funny bit where I'm like, I didn't play this shit. Was it good? I don't know. Like, but again, nowadays I would never do that shit. I'd actually like go back and play it. Even to this day, I still have not played Super Mario Galaxy 2. I still haven't played it. Uh-oh, here we go. Uh-oh, here we go.
One of the most forgettable experiences in the entire Super Mario series. New Super Mario Bros. Was a fun experience on a handheld, but we need to remember that this is the B-tier shit.
Again, this is kind of... I do still feel this way where, like, the handheld games are the B-tier shit. Who gives a fuck? Where's the console games, And I guess the Nintendo Switch has kind of just completely killed that dichotomy that I have with Nintendo games. Because now it's just all on the Switch, and it's like, okay, cool. But, yeah, back in the day, like, it was kind of hard. me personally, I just have never given as much of a shit about the Nintendo handheld games as opposed to their home console games. With the only exception being like Pokemon, and like that's it. But that's because Pokemon started on handhelds, you know? But even with the Switch, like that new Zelda game came out where you, was it fucking the one you play as Zelda and you jump on tables and shit. That like just came out as I'm recording this. Echoes of Wisdom, was that what it's called? Anyways. But yeah, that very much is like a handheld Zelda game on the Switch. Like, cause like even though the handheld console dichotomy doesn't exist anymore, like you still can kind of tell like Super Mario Wonder, that's more of like a 2D handheld type Mario game, whereas Odyssey is like the console Mario game, quote unquote, you know? And again, here I am kind of talking about like, yeah, like the original 2D Mario games are like these like classic games that like innovate super much, and like new Super Mario Bros. The new Super Mario Bros. Games like just weren't doing that, and it was like really disappointing. And again, they did kind of end up doing this with Super Mario Wonder, and that game is sick. I love that game. And it's not like that game is like mechanically worse than the Wii game, you know, the new Super Mario Bros. Like there are like a little bit of like action badge command things you can do in Wonder, but like it's basically the same thing as like the new Super Mario Bros. But the fact that they put in so much extra effort into like the aesthetic and like the like Wonder mechanic, like that's all you got to do. And then suddenly it's like, wow, this game's fucking awesome, you know?
They initially wanted to release Super Mario Galaxy 2 as some DLC courses. Now, this is Nintendo we're talking about. They don't know what the internet
This is funny.
I'm pretty sure that they just couldn't figure out how to make DLC, so they decided to just release a disc version. I never really played Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Yeah, I'm just like, I didn't play this shit. Fucking, I don't know. I would not do this nowadays.
I don't even think Nintendo knows what a fucking sequel is. Now we got to remember, the Wii has all those fucking idiots that bought the system for years.
And again, I've made this point multiple times where like they put out a fucking DVD with this game to tell you how to play the game. Like, really? Like this shit's so funny. It's like, come on, dude.
The fucking audacity Nintendo has to teach these dumb fuckers how to play a good video game.
And again, this is actually before I made the Wii retrospective, which is kind of crazy. Like, I think there's definitely a lot of points where like, especially in these Nintendo, like these earlier Nintendrone videos, I'm definitely like kind of putting my opinion out there on the Wii, just like, yeah, the Wii's kind of goofy. Like, I think I even do that in the Zelda retrospective too. Or, yeah, I think I do. And like, there's a lot of moments in these Nintendrone retrospectives where like, I'm kind of like calling things out beforehand, like before I make the full video. And that's like by no means like I'm not intending to do that at all. I think it's just, I just have those opinions. And then when it comes to making the Wii video, it's like, okay, time to talk about them, you know?
It's still the B tier shit, don't get me wrong, but it's like B+. It's pretty good. Speaking of B tier shit.
Yeah, Super Mario 3D Land was like so refreshing to have on a handheld console. And then they just released this shit. It's like, this was where like before it was like, okay, the new Super Mario Bros. It's kind of boring, but whatever. This is where it went off the fucking rails. It was just like, it's like, man, Nintendo, shut the fuck. What the fuck? You're just throwing coins everywhere. Like, fuck off, bro. Like, that's where like I like started to like hate this series. Because before it was like, okay, new Super Mario Bros. Is on the Wii, you got multiplayer, but new Super Mario Bros. 2 is like fucking ridiculous.
The Wii U, they launched the system with another fucking piece of shit. Mario has to rescue Princess Peach because it's a fucking Mario game. Nothing has changed.
God, this period of time. Wii and Wii U era shit.
A fifth player can finally join the fun by placing blocks with the Wii U gamepad and being a giant cunt. There's the
That's funny.
shitty Koopalings from Super Mario Bros. 3.
Again, like there's during this period of time, Nintendo was like,
The level visuals are once again
Nintendo always goes through these like
new Super Mario Bros. Wii.
they get through these like trends of like recycling stuff, and during this period of time, they were like,
When Nintendo released
the fucking Koopalings. We love the Koopalings, and they would put the Koopalings in like every fucking game they would make. It was ridiculous. It's like, guys, stop putting the fucking Koopalings in every goddamn fucking game. Like they did it with like Mario Kart. They did it with like the Paper Mario Color Splash game. They did it with like this game. It's like, oh, fucking hell, dude. Who gives a fuck?
people would rather play new Super Mario
Like, yeah, like make some new characters, bro. Do something else. Fucking Jesus Christ.
outsold Super Mario Galaxy. From a business standpoint,
Again, here I am kind of making like
Bros. U and
Nintendo Wii-esque kind of
fucking idiots
retrospective stuff that I talk about later.
won't buy a 3D Mario game. But that's the whole problem with this new series of games. It's devolved to a fucking cash grab at this point. Nintendo could have evolved the new Super Mario Bros. Into something great. But
Oh,
they never
Jesus
will.
Christ. Thank God we're past this. Thank God we're past the new Super Mario Bros. If it ever comes back, that's like, okay, fuck you. But I'm hoping we're done. Now that we got Super Mario Wonder, it's like, dude, never go back.
That's why it's called the Wii U. They would have called it something else, but they clearly wanted to profit off of the brand recognition of the Wii.
Again, doing Wii U retrospective stuff. Like that's crazy, dude.
Fans have been feverish.
But again, I just have these opinions anyways. Like,
3D Land, this game is a combination between the 2D and 3D installments.
but yeah, this is the last game that I talk about because this was the latest game
Trying to appeal to the
during the time.
by the new Super Mario Bros.
And maybe, you know, like
Toad. Each
during the time this was like a sort of big game.
even unlock Rosalina as a secret fifth character who can use
You know, like there's no way in hell I was ever going to like, you know,
Super Mario 3D World.
because I think this was like August
Super Mario game
30th, 2016, man.
shit.
Was the Nintendo Switch even announced at this point? I don't think it was.
The entire experience is built around the point system. At the end of each level,
Yeah, maybe
points receives a crown. The
because, you know, if Super Mario Odyssey was like at least announced at this point, I probably would have made this
next level
video way later. But
is a Four Swords element. Where
don't get me wrong, though, this game is still pretty good.
enemies in order to get them. Even if you don't care about the
But yeah, for as far as the whole like the video is concerned, like it's kind of a weird place to stop. But again, it is sort of like a celebration of Mario up until this point. It's kind of got like a little bit of everything, so
Super Mario game that's
it works. It's okay.
special or mind-blowing about Super Mario 3D World, but
It's all right.
is a black
Whatever. Fuck it.
way through. The soundtrack's emphasis on a big band creates an environment full of happiness and joy that simply
Yeah, because man, especially during the time when this game came out, like
one of the best multiplayer games.
the PS4 and Xbox One were just like they were already out, and like there's no fucking games for it, and I was like the consoles were so like kind of mid during the time.
Doesn't mean that they're terrible.
And yeah, just like bro, like Nintendo was just putting out fun shit like this game, you know, like Super Mario 3D World, and like that was like that period of time where like
But I tend to hold Nintendo
yeah, sure, like the Wii U sucks dick and like no one's buying the console and like you know, shit's kind of fucked, but like there was like a good period of time with like man, at least Nintendo's like having fun and like doing fun shit, you know?
some of the most ridiculous consoles that
Like on the latter like the later end, like the later years of the Wii U, you know, like with like Splatoon and Smash 4 and stuff, like it was pretty refreshing.
been released, and there's simply not enough time to play them all. As a fan of video games, I want to be able to
This is kind of like a cute, wholesome ending. Not usually something I usually do, where I'm like,
Mario series.
I'm kind of giving Super Mario like it's flowers in a way, you know.
Re-experiencing them over
This is it's a very cute ending. This isn't something I usually do, but you know what? It's Mario. You gotta do something special for Mario. I'm very proud of this like ending edit, where I transitioned the music to the Galaxy theme. Yeah, dude, that's an awesome edit. I like this ending a lot. I was also trying to do something similar in the Zelda retrospective, but what ended up happening was I think I just had way too many copyright claims with like the music and stuff, so I was trying to do something similar with Zelda, but it didn't work out. All right, like that's a and no GBA, no Game Boy sound effect at the end there because again, very unique ending. Kind of a callback to the older endings that I used to do. But yeah, because I'm not trying to like I guess just jump scare you with the ending. I'm kind of just like letting you fucking soak it in, you know. So yeah, that ending's very artistic and cute and wholesome. Not something I usually do, but you know I like Mario games, so I guess that's why I did it, you know. But yeah, moving on. Next video.